So they're trying to make it dramatic. This is why I couldn't watch Battlestar Galactica with Tracy. Because she'd always be like, everyone is always talking like this. To make even the most benign, banal dialogue seem dramatic.
Yep.
And it's not dramatic. And she was right. BSG did a lot of that. And they're doing the same thing here because it's so thin. I was pretty sure that my wife was going to say something angry about this shirt, but she didn't. She said, good, maybe now you'll stop pestering me every night.
Welcome to the Two Gaming Dudes.
All right, Ahsoka Episode 5, Shadow Warriors. This is getting an awful lot of play amongst the geeks, saying it's the greatest episode that's ever been. And I have very mixed feelings about this episode.
Okay, we'll get into it. I was not happy, but we'll get into all the reasons why.
It's not the shittiest episode of the series so far.
No, but it's not good either.
I, as a matter of principle, have a problem with blind fan service. Okay?
Yeah, so do I, and there was a lot of that going on here.
I'm okay with it for a little bit. Where I'm not okay with it is where it starts contradicting shit. And Star Wars has become a masterclass in retconning shit. All the way back to the Force's midichlorians now, to this character's not dead, to, Anakin had a Padawan. Since when? I don't know. He just did. There's no... Well, just sloppily write her in here and whatever.
It's fine.
It was really cool seeing, this is like live action. This is what the Clone Wars would have looked like. Neat. These are similar scenes to the cartoon. Great. It's Star Wars porn.
Sure.
It pushed the story forward precisely 0. But it was cool to see. But it's done so much fundamental changes to what the Force is, to what Anakin is. Boy, this is tough to describe, man.
Now, I do get where some of the fans are coming from. They're like, all right, it wasn't actually Anakin so much as like when Luke faced Vader in the cave. That wasn't actually Vader. That was something that he had brought with him. So same kind of deal here. This was like her going through her Jedi trials. This was a manifestation that she had created.
How do we know that?
You don't. You absolutely don't. You can read a book. I'm sure they'll write a book after it or watch the comics or some shit.
I mean, there's just the simple plot holes that they left, that they never thought of, because they didn't give a shit to do any research. She acted like she's never seen... Oh my god, what is this strange place? It's the same place you got pulled into at the end of Rebels. When Vader was going to kill you and Ezra's like, we can't let her die, and they pulled you... It's the exact same fucking thing. You've been here before. Why are you acting like it's new?
Don't you remember that scene in Rebels where Dave Filoni reached out through the void and pulled you in and said, nope, you get to live?
For fuck's sake. You know, you've done so much. Every son of a bitch wants to explore the theme of why Anakin turned.
Yeah.
Why did Anakin turn? And you've shown him in so many different iterations now that you first got to know him as Vader. This quintessential villain. This evil, he's more machine now than man, a force of evil. And wow, he's awful. And then you see him at redemption at the end of Jedi. Okay, so Luke saves him because he still has love in him. But then you see him as a baby, and then you see him as this insufferable teenager, and you hate him as a teenager. You're like, he's this spoiled Gen Xer. No wonder he turns into an asshole, of course. And that changes his villain arc a little bit. But then you introduce him in Rebels, and he's this relatable, lovable guy, and he's a good guy. You're like, well, shit, I don't want him to turn into a villain. And everybody wants to take responsibility. Let's explore that theme. First, it's Senator Palpatine that's manipulating him. And then it's Obi-Wan fails him. And then let's examine that again later in the Obi-Wan series. And then she's going to take responsibility. No, it's my fault that he... Fuck off. Fuck off. You're all trying to pull at the same thread.
Yeah.
Enough already.
Well, Star Wars only has but the 2 characters, or 3. So here was my problem. You hear the voice, hey, Snips.
Yeah.
Right? And then you hear, hey, Snips, pause for effect. Pause for all the fans to start going, because you have to leave time. Now, turn the camera, and there's Anakin. Pause for applause. linger on the shot for a while and don't say anything because everybody has to applause. Once the applause dies down, I'm watching an episode of Friends. And you just introduced Brad Pitt, and we're like, oh my God! Pause for effect, and then move forward. And then that's how you know, oh, so you're just doing this so that you can trigger all the member berries.
Yeah, and it's only for that reason. It's only for that reason, clearly. It pushes the story forward. What are you trying to do? Develop her character? Because an entire series of her in Clone Wars didn't develop her character enough?
So here, gosh, how do I even put this into words? Here's my other problem. So you then cut to Ahsoka, and you realize, okay, she's about to have this existential crisis moment, and she's going to have to go through her transformation. Why doesn't she care? Like, it cuts to her, and she's like, Anakin, oh my God. Wait, what's up? What's going on? And like, I need you to have a little more emotion than that. Do you not care? Because if you don't care, why the hell should I care?
Well, she doesn't. Your training's not complete. Well, yeah,
she's like, all right.
Because I quit. I quit years ago. I know it's not complete. I never finished.
I swear to God, every time she folds her arms,
boy.
I immediately go, oh. I hate it so much because it's showing Dave Filoni going, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know how you're supposed to stand or what. Just fold your arms. You know, where do I stand for the next scene? Stand over there and fold your arms. It's just stand there.
It's true. He doesn't know what to do with it. And that's why I can't believe people are praising this. You see Anakin go from the light to the dark. If you can flip sides that easily, then it's fucking meaningless. It's meaningless. Him saying, tell your sister you were right. It's bullshit. Now, you've watched, because first he's back. We see him go from good to bad to good to, he's like a pro wrestler. We see him do it 4 times in one episode. It's meaningless now. Either that was intentional or not. On top of, then after they get out, the episode just gets ridiculous.
Right,
ridiculous.
We're still not there yet.
Okay,
because I still have one more complaint. We're still going. It's the lost potential.
Yeah.
Because this is the moment where you're supposed to have your character at their lowest. Because here's where you're about to have a transformation. So she needs to be brought down to nothing. And the best way to do that would be for her to experience true emotion. She should have been in tears. She really should have been at a point where she thought, if I had stayed with you, you wouldn't have turned. If I had been there, I could have prevented this from happening. But I parted ways with you. I walked away from you, and then you turned into Vader. Maybe if I had been there, and that would express her guilt. That's the thing that's been eating at her this whole time. I walked away from you. This happened. It's all my fault. And then he, through whatever...
Then he goes good again. Yeah.
And that could have been the moment where, through all of this, you realize that she had nothing to do with it. He was going to turn no matter what, but that was his journey to take, not hers.
I agree.
And that would have been a great moment, because that could have been her self-realization of, it's not all my fault. I can't control everything, which is what the whole episode was trying to relay. Was the more she tries to control it, the more she's becoming like Vader, controlling everything. She has to let go and just let things happen as they're supposed to, as the Force wills it or whatever. And that's her transformation. And that was the ending that she got from that episode, where she truly just let go.
I agree with this caveat. We've seen that already.
Yeah.
You didn't create Vader. You didn't kill Anakin. I did.
Yeah.
We've already seen it. This is what I was complaining about. You're pulling at the same fucking thread. We've seen it. We saw it in Kenobi. Ben and Vader, they had the same thing when he showed up on the Obi-Wan series. You didn't kill him. You did it already.
Yeah.
You could do that. She needed that moment.
Yep.
But you'd have to do it something different. And I don't think these writers have the chops
I
They're
don't
going to
think
come up with something different.
The writers do not have the chops for it. The director is not up for that kind of a task.
I mean, you're right. That's what it needed.
Because this
they're not
moment,
capable of doing it.
This episode should have grabbed hold of every single one of your heartstrings and yanked them all out. Like, this should have been a moment where you start to sob a little bit yourself. You're like, oh my God, I really feel for her. I felt nothing.
And that's us, to say nothing of a casual fan who never watched Rebels, who doesn't know who the fuck, how does she know, how does she know Darth Vader? She's not in any of the movies. How does she know Darth Vader? That's us, who didn't give a shit. Mm-hmm. A casual fan is just confused now. Oh, she knows Vader somehow? I don't know, must have been in the comic or something. I don't know.
Oh, by the way, in this episode and the episode before it, when you find out that Balin, Ray Stevens, when he's like, oh yeah, I knew Anakin, he talked about you a lot, before he became evil and Vader. And it's like, did everyone know?
You're right.
I thought the whole point of the first trilogy was like, no one knew. And then they're like, no, actually,
fuck it.
We all knew.
Who cares?
It's fine. Everybody knew.
Because now you can have he knew Vader too! Ah!
When you had the moment in Obi-Wan where even she was like, oh yeah, you didn't know? Anakin's alive, he's Vader now. What the fuck? The fuck did you... Everybody knows. That's very Star Wars breaking.
Everything about it breaks Star Wars.
So anyway, in the story, after all that bullshit in the world between worlds, she emerges as Ahsoka the White.
The White, yeah, she's Gandalf the White. She's the White Wizard now. Fuck.
That's right. She is now Gandalf the White. The white robes and everything. I don't even know where she got those.
You know what, though? Something important happened before that.
I doubt it, but go ahead.
Well, okay, not true. Not important. Syndulla arrives and like, oh shit, they're gone. Where'd they go? And then the young kid is like, I can feel them. They're somewhere out there. I can feel them. They're like, oh, this kid's got some weird force thing. And they finally mention Kanan. As a throwaway, like, oh yeah, his dad was Kanan. He was a Jedi. Okay, cool. Done. You've just mentioned his name for the first time. A rather important character.
You probably should...
So again, if you've never seen Rebels, you're watching... Okay, so his dad was a Jedi. I guess that's not important because they just threw it away. Moving on.
Well, it's the moment where if you've never seen it, you're going... Was that his name? Like Ezra Kanan?
I thought Ezra was his dad. Isn't she out looking for his dad? She's out looking for her husband. She's looking for Ezra. Isn't that his dad? No. That's just poor writing, where it's not made clear.
Yeah. Anyway.
And then they ride the whales.
Then they ride the whales.
May I?
Not the way I wanted them to, but they ride it anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't a collar. Get in my mouth! All right, here's my question. Okay.
Yes.
The whole premise of the show started off, we have to find this MacGuffin because it's a map to the out there.
Yeah.
Oh, how did they create the map? By following the migratory patterns of these whales. Why don't we just follow the fucking whales? Why do I need this fucking map of their migratory patterns? Why don't I just look at their fucking migration?
Most animals that migrate will migrate to the same place.
During the breeding time of year.
Yeah. Which is awesome. It means she's going to show up during spunk season, and it's going to be really gross.
This map is thousands of years old. Only one time in those thousands of years did anybody bother to see where these fucking things go.
You realize that's Ahsoka going to the whale and going, "Can I join your orgy?" And they're like, "Yeah, you can." Get in my mouth.
They couldn't, jump and you follow them?
No, I guess.
Whatever.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Everything it's so contrived. None of it stands up to a second's questioning. Like, what do you need the fucking map for? If you would throw in some throwaway, why can't we follow them now? Well, the Empire thought they were a hindrance to navigation, so they wiped them out. Or the Empire hunted them to extinction.
Yeah, we thought they were all gone. Yeah.
Okay, that I could live with.
Yeah.
Nah, we're just going to get in its mouth. I mean, that would have been cheap. I would have said, okay, the Empire hunted them to extinction, so you need a map. Weak, but okay. You don't need it.
You don't need the map at all.
Where are you guys going?
Are right
that
there.
way? Okay, I'm going to follow you. And what's been going on all this time since then?
What do you mean? Like the whales have been doing this every year, I imagine.
Well, even if they don't, they migrate once every 10 years, whatever. How long has it been since the end of Rebels to now? she's a grown adult now. She was a kid in Rebels.
Right. And Hera's got a kid now who looks 10, 12?
Yeah.
10?
something
Right.
like
So we'll say 10, 12 years.
What's been going on all this time with the loyalists? Admiral Thrawn's out there. There's a map that shows where he went. Should we go get it? Let's wait a decade.
I don't really want to.
Let's wait 10 years. Okay, fuck it.
Well, we've seen how effective their government is.
I guess.
Hey, we had one of our ships just got hijacked by terrorists, and everybody on board was slain.
And this Imperial sympathizer was broken out of custody.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Also,
All right.
one of our shipyards, some Imperial loyalists evidently have been making parts for a resurgent empire. That doesn't prove anything either.
Yeah.
Your most decorated general here just told you that there's evidence that there's a plot. That doesn't mean anything either.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
That's my everything is contrived and none of it makes sense. It's
I
just
swear,
so poorly done.
I need her to come out of the whale mouth in the beginning of the next episode, just like Dory does, and go, "Thank you."
I know.
Like
I was thinking the same joke. Or she comes out just covered in slime. Just, filthy fucking animals. No wonder you're extinct.
they are giant squid things, after all.
So 6, 7, 8. There's still 3 episodes left, man.
Yeah.
3 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't Hera get in another whale's mouth? You're gonna go by yourself?
Yes. Why didn't she go?
Why don't you have the New Republic fleet follow you?
I mean, at this point, she's fired, right? They're like,
Yes.
"Hey, I need you to come back." "I don't want to come back." "I need you to come back. We're thinking about firing you."
Fuck it, I quit.
F you. Then you're fired.
Okay.
Okay. You didn't want to go on this adventure thing? Nah.
Gotta get in the whale's mouth. You can't, put a tracker on one of the whales. Like we've seen a tracker in every fucking Star Wars movie. Somebody gets a tracker put on their ship.
Hey, Ahsoka, can we track your ship? Can you just turn on a little beacon thing? We can track your ship and just know where it goes, and we'll just go where you go.
No. Okay.
All right.
I'll finish out the 3 episodes
Yeah.
because we're in
I'm
now.
gonna keep
But
watching.
this,
I mean, we're in too deep. We have to keep going, but it's...
Kenobi was junk, but I think it was better than this.
Wow, really? I mean, I'm not going to dispute it.
I would have been perfectly happy with a quick little 2-3 minutes of them reliving the Clone Wars. This is the battle on wherever, and I'm like, oh, I recognize that from that episode. Yeah, this is cool to see it in live action. And it would have been a neat throwaway little fan Easter egg. But you can't build an episode out of that. And I don't care if fanboys are like, this was great, you get to see Anakin and Hayden Christensen's great performance. Come on, fuck off.
No.
Be fucking intellectually sincere for even a minute.
Just a little bit objective.
Just because we want it to be awesome and we want that feeling,
And believe me, we want it to be awesome, and we want that feeling.
I want it to be authentic. I don't want to just tell myself that it was great when it wasn't.
Yeah.
Believe me, nobody wants Star Wars to be fucking awesome more than me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I grew up with this shit, and it's been nothing but disappointment ever since.
That is sad.
And this is just more of it.
Well, we're going to keep watching. I don't know if you guys are going to keep watching too or what, so you got to put it in the comments below. Let us know if you're following along, if you're watching, if you're loving this, if you're hating this. If you're hating people like us for crapping all over your Ahsoka,
Well,
bring it.
tough shit. Convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
Convince me otherwise.
Convince me that these action scenes are actually good. Convince me that...
I like that action scene.
Yeah, but even that one, like all of the action scenes are so confined.
Yeah.
Because they can't step more than 10 feet in any direction.
Because they hit the green screen wall. They
yeah,
hit
because the green screen
LCD
wall is
yeah.
there. Because they didn't build any damn sets.
And this Inquisitor guy, inexcusable. He's just some guy.
Yeah, and we're done now.
I'm fine with it. Because it wasn't the show that built him up. It was other fans online that built it up to be something.
That's fair.
But those same fans bitched and pissed their pants when they did the same thing to Snoke. Oh, you're just gonna take your main villain and kill him unceremoniously just like that?
Yeah.
Which is it? Is it great or is it bullshit? Oh, but his smoke came out, and that shows that the night witches can reanimate dead people. Because in this book from 1982, it shows that they can Fuck off. No one cares. No one fucking cares. It's stupid. The show has to stand on its own merit.
Yes.
And
that's the big one.
It doesn't. It falls flat on its fucking face because no thought went into it. Because Dave Filoni sucks.
Yeah. It's okay with cartoons. But this live action stuff, he is awful. Comment, like, subscribe, all that shit.
You know, the other weird thing.
Oh, I was going to show you something. Oh, I was going to show you something awful, too. I got to see if I can find it, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if I can... Let me see if I can find it. All right. Pause for a moment. I'm going to see if I can find something.
If it's more of your dick pics, I don't need to...
2 hours later.
And continue.
You can do this with any scene in this series.
Okay.
Okay? Now, I want you to imagine, just off camera, where there's no microphone, there's a dude with a script in hand. All right?
It's going to be stupid.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
Interesting. He never mentioned you at all.
He never mentioned you.
Every scene!
Everyone in the Order knew Anakin Skywalker.
Say the next line. He was a dick.
Few would live to see what he became.
See?
Surely that must leave a mark.
Alright, say the next line. Is that this?
Is that why you walked away?
Okay, say
Abandoned
the next
him?
line. The next line is this. Alright, now take your shirt off.
All right, well, okay. So
It's
I'm
every
not here
I get it.
to discuss my past.
I understand. They're trying
so
to
bad.
add... Oh, because the dialogue is stupid. They're trying to add gravitas where there is none.
Right.
Because this is flimsy. There's nothing to it. So they're trying to make it dramatic. This is why I couldn't watch Battlestar Galactica with Tracy. Because she'd always be like, everyone is always talking like this to make even the most banal dialogue seem dramatic.
Yep.
And it's not dramatic. And she was right. BSG did a lot of that. And they're doing the same thing here because it's so thin.
It's because you're looking at the script, you're like, we only got like 400 words. We got to stretch this out. All right, deliver a line, and then count to 10 in your head, and then deliver the next line.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they're being directed to do that.
But it is even funnier to think none of them actually know their lines, and there's someone off screen who has to like tell them what the line is.
Who's this dick brain?
I don't know.
All right.
Well, sorry to do that to you, but now you'll hear it now. Every time you watch Ahsoka, you'll hear the little guy off camera giving them the line just before they say it.
Yeah, Charles. Now Ahsoka is ruined for me. Now
it's bullshit.
I wanted this to be good. You know what? I'm looking forward to Andor
Andor season 2,
because that's when Star Wars was great again.
Yeah,
And I don't want to hear fuckheads say it's the most boringest because you're fucking stupid.
At least he built sets.
At least you gave a shit and it was
gave a shit.
intelligent
At least
and it
he
made
wrote it.
fucking sense.
At least he wrote the story first and then filmed it.
Right, it goes in a cohesive line. It makes sense.
That's all I want. I just want my Star Wars to make goddamn sense.
Can I take the map away? No. Why not? Because this is to prevent a war. Oh. I'm taking it anyway. Oh, I lost it. Artificial drama. Fuck off. It's like watching somebody play Zelda. First we have to find this, and then or Metroid. You gotta find the high boots, because then you have to get the red missiles to get through the door. But you can't get through there because you need the wave gun first, so we have to go back
and go fast forward again.
God, this is all it is. This is all Star Wars has become. Just chasing glowy things and MacGuffins and stupid task-driven bullshit. Click subscribe.
Yes, because we can't talk about this anymore.
Get in my mouth.
Anymore, we're going to get too pissed. All right. See you in another episode.